How's it going, YouTube? Mark from Like-Minded Lunatics coming at you with your Friday night reaction video. And boy, today is a special one. For me, this is a very special day. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But before we do that, hey, have you subscribed to the channel yet? We're putting out a lot of content, and we're trying to build this family of Like-Minded Lunatics one sub at a time. So if you would please, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, hit that subscribe button. Don't cost you nothing, and it sure does help us out a whole lot. Also, make sure you check out our other content. We got a lot of stuff on this channel, not just reaction videos that I do, but my writing partner Todd Wright does a segment we call Drink, Play, Swear. That's where Todd plays an aggravating game, has an adult beverage, and tries to tell you a story at the exact same time. It's a great segment. You don't have to know anything about video games for it to be fun. You can check that out right there. All right, so for today's content, in the interest of full disclosure, let me just tell you, this is not the video reaction that I had planned to release for today. I had recorded a special one, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end of this reaction, so stick around if you want to hear about that. I'd recorded another one and it got a copyright strike, which is absolute nonsense. The original song that I reacted to was 4 minutes. My video was 27 minutes long. It was transformative. It added commentary. It wasn't a replacement for the original video. It clearly meets all of the legal criteria for fair use. But it got copyright strike, so I'm disputing it. Hopefully that'll get released and I can post that one up because I spent a hell of a lot of time working on it. So instead, I'm going to react to Van Halen's Best of Both Worlds. Now, this is a song that came out in 1986 off the 5150 album. Yes, it's 5150, not 5150. Whenever someone says it like that, it's fucking embarrassing. It's 5150. Now, this is the album. This is Sammy Hagar's first album with the band. And for those of us who were huge Van Halen fans in the 80s, this is a weird time, man, because 1984, that album came out and just tore it up, solidified Van Halen as a behemoth rock and roll band. And then the next album, no David Lee Roth. Like, oh my God, what is going to happen? And you hear, well, they hired Sammy Hagar. And you think, well, I mean, I Can't Drive 55. Heavy Metal is a great song. Headbangers in leather, sparks flying in the dead of the night. It's a great song. But how is that going to work? How is that going to work with Van Halen? And then the first single I heard, and literally the third CD I ever owned. The first one was Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet. Second was ZZ Top's Afterburner. Third, Van Halen's 5150. The moment I heard this song, Best of Both Worlds, it's gonna be okay, you guys. It's gonna be okay. This Sammy Hagar guy, I don't know, but I'm thinking he might be better than David Lee Roth. He doesn't do spinning hook kicks. There doesn't appear to be any splits on the stage, but his singing and the lyrics might in fact be better. So I thought we'd take a look at this video. And this has a special place in my heart, and I'll talk about why, like I said, in just a minute. Let me bring up the frame. Boom, going with EVH Stripes, baby. And for the beer we're going to do today, this is the same beer I did in the previous react. Oh, look at that. My shirt is chroma keying out. Hopefully that's not too distracting to you. The beer I went with in the previous one, so this is not my first one, ladies and gentlemen, is a Cold Glory by Austin Beerworks. Now, I said in the previous one that the band I chose I thought was like the top 3 rock and roll bands, American rock bands of all time. I'm going to say Van Halen is in that top 3. And you don't have to have an alcoholic beverage, but let's get something in our systems to cheers to the end of the week, the beginning of a great weekend, and a day that is very special in my heart. And I'll tell you why in a bit. Cheers, everybody. All right, let's do this. Van Halen, boy, that's a good beer. Austin Beerworks, you guys, does such good stuff. If you ever get a chance and you're Austin, go visit them. All right, Best of Both Worlds from Live Without a Net concert, 1986, Van Halen. Now, I can tell you, the first time hearing this song, I do remember hearing this song for the first time in 1986. Hearing that initial riff, and I'm going to go back and just let you listen to that. Hearing that initial EVH riff, you're like, well, I know Dave's not going to be in this song, but it sounds like it's going to be okay. Oh, and then we get Alex in with the drums and Sammy. Ooh! Sounds like it's going to be all right, you know? All right, we haven't had Sammy's lyrics yet, but thus far, what a great beginning. One of the things I've always loved about Ed is that he has this distinct ability, and I think it comes from confidence as a player. Obviously, one of the top guitar players of all time, but he also has the ability to tone it down a little bit, to be a little bit slower, to be a little bit more melodic, to be a little bit more confident in, I'll get to the shredding in a minute, but this part needs to be kind of mellow and cool. He has that confidence. He's making pieces of music. He's not just melting your face off, which I really appreciate in a musician. He knows when to bring it, and he knows when to step back. Now, how about those beginning lyrics? Yeah, I don't know what I've been living on. Oh my God, Sammy is the best. And if you get a chance, check out some of his live stuff he's been doing during COVID. In fact, I'll throw up a link to one of my favorite ones right now. His voice, he's in his 70s. His voice is amazing. You can tell this man has taken care of himself. His voice sounds awesome. That is a Sammy lyric. We've talked about lead singers who have like their own idiosyncrasies. There's their own vocal stylings that they throw in. The best example obviously is James Brown with that thing, or James Hetfield is my absolute favorite. Ooh, yeah, all of those. Ooh, yeah, all those Hetfieldisms, fantastic. That is a Sammy lyric. All right, now this is what I'm talking about the lyrics and the vocals taking a big leap ahead when they hired Sammy. Don't get me wrong, I love me some DLR. In fact, Panama was the second video I reacted to. I did it second because I didn't want to screw it up, so I needed to figure out the technology and all that stuff. You can go check that out here. I'm still pretty proud of that one, even though the recording's not that great. But this is what I mean. These last two lines, actually, let's go 4. Come on, baby, close your eyes and let go. This can be everything we've dreamed. It's not work that makes it work. Let the magic do the work for you. Those are great, great lyrics. It's again, lyrically, leaps ahead of what DLR was doing. Man, the chorus to this song may be my favorite Van Halen chorus of all time. The guitar riff, the harmony from Michael Anthony, obviously Alex's drumming, it all comes together in what I think is a perfect chorus. Listen to it again. It's so powerful.
You'll be the best.
And then we go right back into that melody. So great. Ugh. I love me some Michael Anthony. Don't get me wrong. After they fired Michael Anthony, I was so pissed at Eddie. I was so mad at Eddie. And then they hired Wolf. They brought Wolf in to take Michael Anthony's place. I didn't understand it. I was unhappy with it. Not happy as a Van Halen fan. I didn't understand what was going on. Contextually, I didn't understand what was going on. Now I do, obviously, and it was a great move to bring Wolf in. But there's something about Michael Anthony. I feel like that I could meet Michael Anthony after work at a bar, and we would have beers and we would play pool together for like 3 or 4 hours. Then we'd have a snack and go home, and then we might meet up again the next day after work for the same thing. That's the type of dude I feel like Michael Anthony is. I love him. Oh shit, I was talking over 2 of my favorite lines from the song. That's so great. There's a picture in a gallery of a fallen angel who looks a lot like you. Ugh. We forget where we come from. I had a dream. It was really you. Something reached out and touched me. Now I know all I want the best. I know the best. 'Cause honey, I know what it's worth. Give me the best. I know where's I want heaven around here on earth. Wow. All right, we're about to enter the Eddie Van Halen solo. And it's the most important part of a Van Halen song. I have to say, even though the lyrics in this are steps ahead of what they were doing before, you always wait for Ed's solo. Always, always. And I've said this before, when we saw them live, it felt like every song was leading up to Ed's 30-minute solo, 3/4 of the way through the concert. And you would think there was an entire goddamn orchestra there, instead of one man with one instrument. It was unbelievable. I am so thankful that I was able to see Eddie live. I love how he comes out of that solo, and then we're about to get another Sammy lyric. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We're about to get one of those. Let's listen to how Ed comes out of that and leads up to Sammy. I love that! I love Sammy. Now, I mean, I don't want to get too sentimental, but that chorus is fantastic. It's probably one of the most, I don't know, touching chorus, or not chorus, but touching verses in this song. Listen to it again. God, and then Alex comes in, tearing it up. Look at Ed. God, the world is a lesser place without Eddie Van Halen in it. The world is a lesser place. And great singer. Listen to that. God! God, what a great freaking song. What a great song. And, you know, like I said before, for those of us who were huge Van Halen fans before Sammy, that transition was a time of real concern for all of us. You know, Sammy had a track record with Montrose and then as a solo artist, as a great performer, but there was something special about David Lee Roth with Van Halen. And when they fired DLR, it was a time of uncertainty for all of us fans. Like, oh my God, what is going to happen? How did they do that? Why did they do that? He was a hard to work with man. So that, you know, that makes sense in hindsight. But they bring Sammy in, you're like, oh, is it going to work? And this is the first single off of OU812, and it blew me away. Blew me away. And I still think, for my money, it's my favorite Van Halen with Sammy Hagar song. I know that's probably controversial, probably my favorite. And thematically, you know, I said that I recorded another video for today. And the reason why was because in 2001, so exactly 20 years ago, 2001, I had gotten out of a bad relationship a couple of years prior. I mean, I was with a literal demon from hell. I don't tell stories about her because I don't think people will believe how evil she actually was. So 2 years prior, I'd been in a bad relationship. 2001, I was like, you know what? I don't think relationships for me. I don't think that they're for me. I feel like all the cool things I want to do, it's only shared by my guy friends. I'm just going to do all those cool things with them. And if I want to hook up or want to get into a little relationship, that's fine. But if it takes longer than a weekend to get out of, I'm not interested. So around that time, I met this girl, and the reason I met her, I talked about this before, you can go over here and see this. The reason I was interested in her is we were on a trip, and I was thumbing through her CD case. Remember that? Everybody would have like little suitcases of CDs. I had like 4 suitcases of CDs. Thumbing through hers on a trip, and tons of rock. Lots of ZZ Top. What is happening? Aerosmith. Oh my God. And then I come across one CD. Queen's A Kind of Magic. Now, for those of you who don't know, that is the album that Queen recorded for Highlander. It's not one of the more famous Queen albums, kind of like the Flash Gordon one. It has its own niche fan following, but it's not like News of the World or some of those. I was taken aback. How could a girl, much less a one that I find very attractive, how could she have this album? And a couple of months later, you know, I was actually with someone at that time. It wasn't serious. But a couple of months later, I was done with that and started dating this girl. And our first, where's it at? Our first relationship, or our first, I don't know where I put them. Oh, here we are. Our first date, one of our first dates, was to a concert. It was to Fuel and Seven Dust. And I still have, well, you can't really see them because they chroma key out. I still have those stubs. She loved all the same things I did. And it was mind-blowing to me. And that was in 2001. This year we celebrate our 16th year of marriage, 20 years of being together. And one of the things I attribute that to is that our relationship wasn't just based off of some type of physical connection. It wasn't based off of, you know, a traditional, like, oh, well, we should be together. I'm a guy, you're a girl. That's just what guys and girls do. It was because we had all of that, but then we also had just all of these shared things that we love together. And whenever I think of our relationship, I always think of that verse that I stopped in the middle of this. I always think of that verse from this song. You don't have to die and go to heaven. or hang around to be born again. If we could have just tune into what this place has got to offer, because we may never be here again. That's how I feel about my wife, you guys, and this song makes me think of that. You know, when this song first came out, I thought, and maybe he was, but I thought that Sammy was saying that it was kind of like extremes more than words. You know that song, More Than Words? It was about, you're not giving me sex. You're telling me I love you, but you're not giving me sex. I want more than words. I thought that's what this song was about when it initially came out, with a better riff and a better singer. As I get older, I don't know that that's the case. I feel like when I think about it in hindsight, Sammy probably had all the sex he could handle. I feel like what he didn't have at that time period in his life was somebody he could watch a movie with and listen to music with and share things with. And that's what he's singing about. I want the best of both worlds. I want this physical part. I also want to hang out and listen to bands that I like with you. You know, I want the best of both worlds. So that's what this song makes me think about. And I hope you enjoyed this. If I get that other video unblocked, I will link it right up here. Right over there if it gets unblocked. I've disputed it. Let me know what you think of this reaction. Again, this was kind of a last minute one, and it was not the one I wanted to do, but maybe it was the better one to do. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments if you feel so inclined. But remember, if they're mean, I just delete them. And no one knows what a shitty human being you are, except me and you. And I forget about you, but you can wallow in the fact that you can't go on YouTube without being hateful to people. I don't know how that feels. It must feel really bad. So leave me some comments. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And cheers, folks. Cheers to a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.